And so he came back. Maybe it's been weeks or maybe it's been months, and then out of nowhere, your phone lights up and it's him. And something in your stomach dropped when you saw his name. The mixed feeling you can't even explain. Relief, fear, hope, dread, all showing up at the same time. And there you are trying to figure out what this means. Does he actually miss me? Has he changed? Is this the moment you have been secretly waiting for, even though you told yourself that you've gotten over it? I want to talk to you about this today because what is happening right now is one of the most crucial moments of your healing journey. And the decision you make in the next few days could either move you forward or pull you all the way back to the beginning. So stay with me because by the end of this video, you're going to see his return very different. So before we talk about why he came back, we need to talk about why he left or why things fell apart to begin with. Because here's the thing. Narcissists and emotionally unavailable men do not leave a relationship because they stopped caring. They pull away when the relationship stops giving them what they need. Maybe you started setting boundaries, maybe you stopped being available. Maybe you got tired of chasing and then you pulled away first. Or maybe the relationship has just run its course in terms of what he was getting from it. And when this happens, they do not sit with it. They do not reflect on their behaviors or try to work harder to get the relationship working back again. They move on to the next source of validation, a woman, an ex, like that was before you, friends, work, whatever fills the space for them, they move on. But here's what also happens. Those new sources eventually feel hollow too. The new woman does not know him the way you do. Do you understand? The validation from other places is not quite the same. And slowly, quietly, he starts thinking about you again. Not because he has grown, not because he has changed, but because you represented something to him and he wants that feeling back. So he reaches out. This is the part I really need you to hear. When he's coming back, he is not coming back for you. He's simply coming back for how you made him feel. There is a difference, a big one. You, as a person, with your feelings, with your healing, and your life that you have been slowly rebuilding, that is not what he's thinking about. He's simply thinking about the comfort of your familiarity, the way you understood him, the way you were always there, the way being with you felt easy because you have been trained to manage his moods and his needs. He wants to walk back into something that's already fits. He doesn't want to start over with someone new, He doesn't want to go through the process of getting them to know him better and eventually seeing him for who he really is. With you, there is a shortcut. You already know him, you already love him, and somewhere in the back of his mind, he is still betting that you still love him. And so he reaches out and he says the right things because he knows you. He knows what you need to hear. And he uses that knowledge not to genuinely give you what you need to hear, but to get you back to the position where he feels comfortable again. I want to be really honest about something because I think a lot of videos on this topic skip over it. Saying no when it comes back to you is one of the hardest things you will ever do. Not because you're weak, but because you're human and you genuinely loved this person. The connection was real on your end. The history is real. The good moments were real. And when he shows back up, especially being the version of him that you've always wanted him to be, your heart does not automatically remember all the reasons you were starting to breathe again without him. Your heart remembers the beginning, the way it felt when it was good, and it whispers, what if this time is different? That whisper is one of the most dangerous things about his return because the what ifs feel like hope. And hope is not a bad thing. But hope directed at someone who already shown you who they are is not hope. It is a way of staying stuck in a story that was never going to end the way you wanted it to. And the cruel part is that he knows. On some level, He knows that all he has to do is to show up and say the right things, and that door just opens again a little. And that is exactly why he came back. Let me tell you what almost always happens when women go back after this kind of return. The first few weeks feel incredible. He was always present, he was always attentive, and it feels like your prayers were answered. You think the time apart changed him, you think he finally understood what he had. You let your guards down because the relief of being back together feels so good. And then slowly, things go back to exactly how they were before because nothing actually changed. He did not go away and do the personal hard work on himself that would have needed to genuinely happen to make him a better partner. Instead, he went away. He felt the gap you left and he decided he wanted to fill it again. The circle you lived through before the hot and cold, the confusion, the feeling of walking on eggshells, it does not just disappear because he came back with flowers and the right words. It was always there, just underneath the surface, waiting. And the second time is always harder because now you know how it feels like to leave and you know how long it took you to start feeling okay again. And going back to having to do that all over again from the scratch is a pain that is very hard to describe. Here is the refrain I want you to hold on to. His coming back is not a proof that you're special to him. It's a proof that you're just useful to him. I know this sounds harsh, and I know this is not what your heart wants to hear, but sit with it for a second. A man who truly loved you and truly hurt you, and wanted to make it right again, would not show up with a text or a phone call. He would show up having done the work, having gone to therapy, having genuinely reckoned with his behavior and what it cost you. He would come back different because he would have become different. That man is very rare, and you would also be able to feel the difference. The man who texts you out of the blues because he is lonely and you are familiar, that is not love returning. That is convenience knocking on your door, dressed up in the right words. You deserve the kind of love that does not shrink or wonder or wait. That kind of love does not disappear and then come back when it's convenient. It stays. So if he came back and you're sitting with that feeling right now, I want you to ask yourself one honest question. Is he coming back to give you something, or is he coming back to take away something from you? Because love gives. It shows up consistently. It does not disappear and reappear based on what he needs in the moment. You have come to find your healing, to go back to the beginning of the story. And you know too much now to pretend you do not know what you know. Trust that. Drop a comment and tell me if he has come back or if you're dealing with this right now. Share this video with a friend who just got a call or a text from him. She needs to see this before she responds. Like it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You already know what you needed to do. You just need someone to remind you that you are strong enough to do